Do we have new poll numbers for President Biden post-debate?
We do. You know, CBS News YouGov conducted some polling post-debate. We can compare it to the pre-debate numbers. And the bottom line, Alice, it's not any good. It's not any good. Look at this. Voters who say that Biden has the mental health to be president. It was just 35% pre-debate. Look where it's dropped to now post-debate, 27%. How about that he should be running for president? It was 37% pre-debate. It's now 28%. I have never seen numbers this bad for an incumbent president during my lifetime. I mean, that mental health to be president, just 27%. You might say, okay, you know, that's low, but a lot of people thought Biden was too old back in 2020. These numbers look nothing like this back in 2020. These numbers were bad already. And the truth is, Allison, they have gotten just considerably worse, even in just a few days after that first presidential debate.
I have never seen numbers this bad for an incumbent president in my entire lifetime. That, according to Harry Anton of CNN. We are now getting a sense of the fallout from the Biden debate demolition, and it is absolutely devastating. We're going to see the latest polls, and we're going to see precisely why the panic for the Democrats is just getting started. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And also, you guys saw Biden's freeze at his recent White House event, right? Obama actually had to escort him off the stage. I mean, his decline is so painfully obvious. This event is sparking debate, which is why I'm grateful for today's sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is an app and website that gathers news from across the political spectrum into one place, saving me time sifting through sources. Try them at ground.news/Steve. Ground.news/Steve. Here's the story on Biden's inability to walk himself off stage. Ground News shows 19 articles covering the story, with only 12% coming from left-leaning sources. Clearly, the left doesn't want to highlight Biden's decline. Ground News helps train your mind to recognize bias based on headlines, too. You can actually see how a left-leaning source puts freeze in quotations while the right states it plainly. My favorite feature is their blind spot feed. It lets you see which stories are disproportionately covered by the left or the right. I can't imagine why liberals wouldn't want their base knowing Trump is nearly 20 points ahead of Biden in an Iowa poll. With the election coming up, I highly recommend Ground News. Go to ground.news/Steve. Again, that's ground.news/Steve, or just simply click on that link below or scan the QR code on the screen. Use my link for 40% off the Vantage plan that I use for unlimited access to all their features. Ground News is doing important work, and I hope you'll check them out.
Both sides. Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the
This is the latest Trump campaign ad that's airing across the nation, reminding tens of millions of voters of the utter train wreck we all collectively witnessed last Thursday night. Have you seen the latest cover from Time magazine? I mean, seriously, this is beyond insane. The Democrats and the legacy media are in an open panic. They're not even hiding it at this point. And make no mistake, that is the legacy media, that Time magazine cover. That is the legacy media giving an unambiguous directive to the DNC. You got to replace this guy. You have got to come up with a plan B ASAP. Fox's Greg Gutfeld said it brilliantly. Remember, the media Democrat complex is reacting in horror over Joe's condition, not because they saw it. It's because you saw it. You saw it. And the post-debate polls are out, and they are absolutely brutal. We're talking bloodbath here, gang. Let's start with the brand new CBS YouGov poll that just came out post-debate. The New York Post is calling this CBS YouGov poll, they're calling it jaw-dropping. An astonishing 72% of voters do not believe that Joe Biden has the mental and cognitive health necessary to serve as president. I want that number to hit you. 72% of voters. That's a supermajority. They do not believe that Biden is mentally and cognitively fit to be president. We now know that over 51 million people watched the debate. It was CNN's highest rating event ever. And the damage here appears to have reached the level of mass destruction. 72% of voters across the country now believe Biden totally cognitively unfit to serve as president. That includes, if you can believe it, 41% of Democrats and an astonishing 80% of independents. Latinos. 81% of Latino voters think Biden needs to exit the race. Biden should not be running. 81%. And if you're on the Biden team, all I can say is this is just where the bad news begins for you on Monday morning, okay? It actually all goes only downhill from here. We're now getting the general election polls coming out post-debate. The weekend polls that we were talking about on our live stream Friday broadcast that we were anticipating would come as of Monday. They're coming out one by one, all the national polls. And again, gang, it's beyond devastating. Let's start with the latest New York Times poll. Pre-debate, they had Biden up by 2, 43 to Trump's 41. Now, after the debate, it's Trump by 7, 45 to 38. It's a 9-point swing over to Trump. A 9-point swing over a single weekend. Here's the latest national poll from Atlas Intel. Now, Rich Bears, who's going to be with us on the channel this week to give his expert analysis, but Rich is pointing out that Atlas Intel is very, very good. They're very accurate. They generally poll within the margin of error. Right now, according to Atlas Intel, national average, it's Trump now up by over 5, 45.5 to Biden's 40.3. Now, keep in mind, national polls almost always favor the Democrats. It's the swing state polls that tend to be better for the Republicans, just because the swing states have they have a more traditional Republican voting constituency, say like non-college grad voters. There's more of them than in the general population. So when you look at national polls, they tend to inordinately represent voter sentiments from California and Chicago and New York and the like. Even with that, Trump is crushing Biden by 5 to 7 points. And you want to see one of the reasons why? Take a look at the under 30 vote. Look at this. Now, for those of you who are listening by way of our 20 million podcast downloads, it doesn't just have Trump leading the pack by 14 points, but he's leading Bobby Kennedy. Kennedy's coming in second with 28% of the vote. Biden's fallen to third with the under 30 vote. That according to Atlas Intel. Again, it's just insane. And the Democrats' own polling is showing the same thing. Here's the latest Data for Progress poll. This is a Democrat polling outlet. They had Biden up over Trump before the debate, 47 to 46. Now, post-debate, Trump leads Biden 48 to 45, a 4-point swing. And look at this. They found that 68% of independents thought Trump won the debate hands down. And now we even have this from the Democrats' favorite media outlet, Politico. Politico's basically just a mouthpiece for the DNC. Look at this. Democrat-leaning voters less likely to choose Biden after debate, survey finds. It's a poll that found that the debate is causing Biden to lose the so-called Democrat leaners, independents who tend to vote Democrat. Now even they are abandoning Biden. And the latest election forecast from The Economist that just dropped this morning now gives Trump a 73% chance of winning in November. That is his highest ever. They're predicting he'll win with about 308 electoral votes. Is it any wonder that editorial board after editorial board, one leftist regime media outlet after another, from the New York Times to the Chicago Tribune to most recently the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, they are all now coming out and calling on Biden to drop out. They've been lying to us for 3.5 years, And now they're openly admitting they cannot lie anymore. That's exactly what Greg Gutfeld said at the beginning so brilliantly. They're panicking not because they saw Biden for who he really is, but because you did. That's why they're panicking. Take a look at this report from Axios. Axios is reporting that the real extent of the fallout from last Thursday night is starting to hit Democrats because now they're realizing the down ticket damage that Biden is going to cause. If his numbers have started to implode. And keep in mind, it's most likely only going to get worse. We could be seeing Trump entering September with a double-digit national lead. That is probably most likely what we're going to see, or around that. But here's the problem. You cannot have a lead like that and not see congressional and Senate Democrats basically comparably decimated and wiped out in the process. That's the big concern right now for the Democrats. Forget Biden. This is about the Democrats across the board, right? Governorships, legislatures, House seats, Senate seats. This is beyond a 5-alarm fire at this point. And at the same time, we're getting more confirmation that Biden ain't going nowhere. Lady Macbeth Jill Biden has no intention whatsoever of leaving the Oval Office. So the Democrats are stuck. They are stuck with the very shell of a man that they stuck our nation with 3.5 years ago. And it looks like more and more that their worst possible nightmares are all about to come true. Here's your opportunity to tell big tech tyrants where they can stick it. Click on that link below and download our brand new cancel-proof Turley Talks app, and you can sign our special declaration of restoration. That's our petition to big tech that declares a new day is dawned. They are no longer in control, and we are taking our nation back. We've already got over 1,000 signatures of courageous patriots, and yours is next. Click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com right now.